Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Numbers just don't lie, especially when it comes to video game sales and who's playing how much and all this other stuff. And man, oh man, Sushi Squad Tickle the Justice League has plummeted, needless to say, in popularity. Of course, when it first came out, it wasn't really all that popular. A lot of people kind of held on to their wallets while watching other people play. It's the all-time peak on Steam. This number hasn't moved, and I wouldn't expect it to, even with the expected year-long worth of free content in a live service game, always online game with a price tag of $70. Ubisoft is suffering the same fate as well right now, but that's a whole different discussion. IGN talks about this, and apparently Warner Brothers has to own up to the fact that, well, their lovely little game idea tanked harder than, well, no, we're not going to talk about that. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has fallen short of our expectations. The duh heard round the world. Water is wet. The sky is usually blue, and grass feels good under your naked toes. Expect games business to have a tough year-on-year comparison. Now, this little statement right here has me a little, in a little bit of a disagreement, because I don't think the success or lack thereof of one game that was chocked full of nonsense, piss-poor gameplay, and disrespect for legacy characters is any sort of indication on what the next year is going to bring for the game's business as a whole. Maybe you're just trying to make excuses, but let's see what this little article from IGN has to say. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Oh, you're gonna... okay. Moving on to the next paragraph. Speaking during a financial call, Warner Brothers Discovery Chief Financial Officer Gunnar Weidenfels admitted Rocksteady's game hadn't done the business the company had hoped for since going on sale in February 2nd, priced at $70, overpriced for a live service game, saying it had fallen short of expectations. Sweet Mary Mother of God. Okay. You got it in the title. You have it as the first line, and then you repeat the quote a third time in the next paragraph. Get on with the word count. Warner Brothers Discovery failed to mention the sales figures for Rocksteady's games, but did say, yeah, they're scared. That's when you know the game is absolutely tanked. When they don't even want to talk about the sales figures. I went looking it up, and couldn't really find anything, but hey, looking back over here, all-time peak players, how many people are playing right now? These are gluttons for punishment. Not even 1,000 people are playing this game right now, or today, on this lovely, beautiful Sunday afternoon. 780, this is the weekend. This is when the most people should be playing a game. On a Sunday, after you get out of church. Anyway, if you go to church, that's up to you. I'm not judging. Failed to mention sales figures for Rocksteady's games, but did say Suicide Squad failure had set up the company's games business for a tough year-on-year comparison. Okay, so I guess they're only talking about their games division. Last year, Warner Brothers Discovery released Hogwarts Legacy. That's a very dangerous thing to compare it to, because of Hogwarts Legacy sales numbers had a lot of factors involved. There was a lot of people, there's no denying it. There was a lot of people that bought Hogwarts Legacy out of spite, and because of all the nonsensical controversy surrounding the game, or non-traversy, as one would say. So, compare it to Hogwarts Legacy, which I believe was the highest-selling game last year, with zero recognition because, my J.K. Rowling. Anyway, which went on to become, you actually admit it right here in the article. Went on to become the best-selling game of 2023. Would you like to know how many awards it got at old Jeff Keighley's Game Awards show? 0. You know how many nominations it got? 0. Seems to be a bit of a bias there from the games industry, from the awards, the games award industry. You patting each other on the back, but you don't want to recognize a legitimate best-selling game. Because J.K. Rowling, oh my goodness, controversy. You're scared of these nonsensical nitwits on Twitter. I'm sorry, X. They don't push sales. Well, actually, in this case, with Hogwarts Legacy, they did push sales. They pushed them in the opposite direction to be very successful. for Warner Brothers Discovery. Who'da thunk it? Keep on going with your nonsensical boycotts or attempts at boycotts. So many different people have benefited from Twitter's attempt at boycotts, whether it's J.K. Rowling, in this case, Warner Brothers with the sales of Hogwarts Legacy, or Gina Carano being given an extra day at a convention. Quote, this year, Suicide Squad, one of our key video game releases. Well, then I guess you should have had the right people's hands out of it, or the wrong people's hands out of it, and the right people's hands in it. Maybe work on gameplay. Maybe not be so goddamn disrespectful to legacy characters. Repetitive gameplay. There's a certain amount of repetitive gameplay that people can be used to. People will accept. But when the boss fights are repetitious, one is the same as the other conceptually, then people are just going to turn away. When the dialogue, talking about dialogue, when it comes to Suicide Squad, I expect before the end of the year, this game will be free on either Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation. Same thing that happened with Saints Row Reboot, which is the only reason why I decided to try and play that game. I would say I have a few live streams on my channel, but they're blocked because of copyrighted music. Saints Row wasn't, for me, again, was not a terrible game. I was enjoying it. The cars and the customization were pretty fun. The nonsensical, outrageous humor behind some of the missions was, a few made me roll my eyes, but they got a chuckle out of me. And then the dialogue starts, and I couldn't take it anymore. The dialogue pulled me out of the game, makes me not interested in playing. I see the same thing happening with Suicide Squad, at least for me. It's possible that if, again, the only way I'm going to play this game is if it's free. Although, I'm going to get charged the bandwidth for playing it, for downloading it onto PlayStation. And that's only if it goes to PlayStation. If it goes to Xbox, I don't play my Xbox enough. And of course, when I finally do get a PC by the end of the year, hey, all bets are off on everything. Back to the article. But yeah, if it's free, I'm going to check it out because I want to see for myself. Is it that bad? I already know it's that bad. I've seen enough people play it. I've heard the dialogue. I've heard all the stories. You want to know why this game is an absolute failure? Because of the leaks that came out, people held onto their wallets to wait and see. More and more people are doing that. And personally, I think gamers as a whole should start doing that more and more with every single game. Stop pre-ordering these games. Wait for someone to buy it. Let someone else spend their hard-earned cash and waste their time and money to show you, to give you an idea. I have quite a few channels that I follow that if I'm interested in a game, I'll look up the game plus their name and see if they've played it and make my own decision. I stay away from spoilers. Go watch the first couple of hours of their gameplay, and I think everyone should be doing the same. Gone are the days where if you see a studio's name, whether it's on a movie or a TV show, or in this case, a video game, gone are the days when you see that name and you're going to get a high quality product. Those days are dead. Whether it's Activision, maybe never been Activision, whether it's Bethesda, Rocksteady, Ubisoft, if those days were ever there, or BioWare. Did I say Bethesda already? You get the picture. Those names, and even now, CD Projekt Red, who was the video game publishing darling, the developer darling for so many people after The Witcher, and then Cyberpunk came out, and all the nonsense behind that absolutely tanked their reputation with a lot of gamers. So, what are we going to do? We're going to hold on to our wallets and wait for someone else to play the game for us. And if it looks fun, and if it ends up being good, with decent dialogue, with good gameplay, and good thematical graphics, then, and only then, will you be able to get a financially successful video games. Things like the Suicide Squad, not so much. You keep putting out drivel like that with mediocre gameplay, repetitive battles, and piss-poor dialogue. It's one failure. It's a guaranteed failure. Dead on arrival. One of our key video games has fallen short of our expectations since its release earlier this quarter, setting our gaming business up for a tough year-over-year I wonder how many people are going to play. How are these numbers going to be affected whenever the content patches come up for Suicide Squad? I think that's going to be that'll be interesting to see, because supposedly they're going to be giving out free content over the next calendar year, or the next 12 months, which is a calendar year anyway. With the Joker, oh my gosh, the extra dimensional Joker, people are already not happy with that. Hey, Pal World, go play Pal World. Warner Brothers Discovery's comment perhaps doesn't come as a surprise given Suicide Squad's high-profile struggles. On Steam, the live service action game peaked with 13,459 players. Yep, right there, baby. A figure that has fallen dramatically since launch. At the time of this publication, just 480 people were playing the game on Valve's platform, with a 24-hour peak of 888. At the time of this recording at 10 a.m. Central on a lovely, lovely Sunday morning, we're looking at 782. Hey, let's refresh it. We'll do it live. Nope, still 782 people playing as of 30 minutes ago. 947 peak player count. 24-hour player count. So, yeah, these numbers are not good, especially considering the nature of the game itself. It's supposed to be multiplayer co-op, live service with ongoing content. How is this going to affect the rest of the year for this game? I can't wait to find out. Reviews returned a 5 out of 10. Oh, from IGN, because IGN doesn't know how to give anything a bad score, unless it's Hogwarts Legacy. We called it a, quote, repetitive and bland looter-shooter that, despite an engaging story, that's one of the main things that people complained about, and that's why people don't go to IGN for actual video game reviews. I'd rather go to Angry Joe. And I have opinions on his opinions, but video games, good. Never stays fun for long enough. Let's see, there's much we don't know about Rocksteady's long-term plan for... There is enough that we know about the long-term plan for Suicide Squad. They're going to be giving out free content for the rest of the year to justify the $70 price tag. Joker is set to appear as a playable character. Yay, are you excited? A Joker that is not Mark Hamill's voice. I wonder if that alone is going to stop people from playing the Joker as a character. Because, yeah. Mark Hamill's been the Joker, the voice of the Joker in the animated shows and the video games for so long. Are people going to turn away from it? And let's see. IGN has reported on how Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League player had unearthed a hidden message that looked like a strong hint at the return of Batman. It will be a separate dimension Batman, because they had to take out the Kevin Conroy Batman, because Kevin Conroy obviously can't be the voice of Batman moving forward unless for some reason they get an exorcist or a seance or something, get a Ouija board out and bring him back from the dead. That's a joke, people. Learn to have a sense of humor. But heck, if you made it this far, you have to have a sense of humor because you're listening to me. Other playable characters suspected to be on their way include Mr. Freeze, Lawless, and Deathstroke. I think it will be interesting. Of course, it's going to be interesting to watch. It's always interesting to watch train wrecks and dumpster fires just burn down to the ground to see what could they possibly do next. What could Rocksteady possibly do next to make this any worse? Is that a possibility? Do you think that could happen? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all that nifty stuff, we beggars. I mean, if you leave a dislike and you made it this far, hey, I appreciate the watch. Hope to see you on the next one.